According to the reports, Qatar has told the leaders of Hamas to leave the country. This is a significant shift in its policy. Reports are suggesting that request was reportedly made around 10 days ago after intense discussions with the US officials took place. According to the reports, the US has now informed Qatar that the Hamas presence in Doha is no longer acceptable and that they should depart after the terror group rejected the most recent request to reach a truce and a hostage agreement. Now, Qatar has hosted Hamas's political office in its capital, Doha, since 2012, when Syria's civil war forced it to leave its base in Damascus. And the US asked Qatar to open a channel of communication with the Palestinian group. Doha became a crucial interlocution along with the US and Egypt in hostage negotiations between Israel and Hamas following the group's terror attack on southern Israel in October last year, in which it killed more than 1,200 Israelis and took more than 250 hostage, according to the Israeli officials. Now, Major General Sudhakar Ji joins me live on the broadcast. So thank you for giving us your time. Now, in a fresh twist, in fact, the Middle East tensions continue to soar. The Qatar bouts out the Hamas, and what exactly seems to be now the way forward?
Simran, good morning. Thank you for taking me on phone up. And I would say these turn of events were anticipated with the elections results having been coming out in the open media. Donald Trump is bounced back to the power, and the pressure is definitely building up from USA, and Qatar being a mediator for a peace talk, and that being the central place where all the talks have been going on for the multiple factions and groups and stakeholders. Pressure is building up on that country, and hence it is my assessment that they have actually started exerting pressure on Hamas to leave their country as well, so that the peace negotiations can take place in earnest, in a time-bound manner. That is what is coming to my mind. If you have anything else, you can throw a question to me.
All right. Major General Sudhakar Ji, thank you for giving us your time and, in fact, your insight. Now, international affairs expert Arvind Tejawat also joins me live. Viewers, this is in fact very significant, Mr. Tejawat, as reports are now signaling that Qatar has in fact told the leaders of Hamas to leave the country, and it is going to be a significant shift in its policy. As per the reports, a request was reportedly made around 10 days ago after the intense discussions with the US officials. How do you see this now, in fact, breaking out?
Right. Actually, it's not a significant shift. In fact, during the election campaigning in USA, the Muslim leaders there in USA, they supported Donald Trump. In a Michigan state, a Muslim leader named Bilal al-Jabari, he given his presence on a stage along with Donald Trump, and some other Muslim leaders were also there on a stage in support of Donald Trump, in a hope of that in a term of Middle East and Arab-Israel issues, that Donald Trump probably or might support the Philistine people. So here you see now, once the Donald Trump has come in a power and Democrats are still in a power, so probably that pressure is built by the Democrats that, okay, they build a pressure at a high level that ask the Hamas leaders to leave the country. But here you see what the Indian government wants or what the Indian government wants from these Muslim countries there in a Middle East. The Indian government's policy, the first upon, that the Indian government does not feel that the Hamas and Hezbollah and these are the terrorist groups. They say that these groups are fighting for their existence over there. So for the existence, they are doing it because till now, almost 60,000 people has been killed by the Israeli imposed war, and still they have not achieved their goals like they have not free the hostages and so they have not achieved their goals what they declared in the beginning of the war, and they killed almost 60,000 people without any reason. So I suppose that the US is making unnecessary pressures because of their capitalists or their corporates there in USA to find a close grip or to close hold on that reason for the future business and trades. So if now the Qatar is following that, it gives two signs that the OIC organization is not very much strong, and it will a clear sign that the Muslim countries are not united over there. So I suppose this is going to be happen there in the Middle East. Yeah.
Mr. Jawad, how also do you look at this very significant development now impacting the war that's breaking out of Israel and Hamas at this point of time? Because this is in a significant shift, as I also mentioned earlier. The militant group Hamas is going to leave the country following the pressure from the US. So how is this likely to have an impact over the kind of conflict that's presently happening?
Right. Actually, this conflict is not only between the Israel and the Hamas and the Muslim organizations. Actually, it's a big war. If we extend it war, then it's a kind of a situation which happened in during the means after the Second World War and during the Cold War. So you see, actually, the Iran and some other Muslim countries and Houthi, Hamas, Hezbollah, and some other groups in Iraq is backed up by China and Russia. And till now, India is neutral. India has not officially declared them a terrorist or anything. But in other hand, the other group, which led by the USA, so the Israel and the Jews and other the nationalist political parties there in Israel is supported by the USA. So it's extension of Cold War or maybe that rivalry, and it's clear that this rivalry because of some vested interest at a national level, the vested interest of their elite at a national level. So it's a big fight and it's happening in the world. So if there will be no balance in the world power, then suppose such kind of situation will happen. And they're now, of course, their next target is Iran. And we know that when America occupied Iraq and still the US supported government there in the Iraq till now. So it's because they wanted to use the sources, especially the petroleum sources there in Iraq. So they wanted to repeat the same story there in Middle East in terms of some other countries. They disturbed the Syria, and but actually they left Afghanistan because Afghanistan is not very much beneficial for them. It was not having much resources like petroleum and all. So it is an extension of that war only.
Okay.
So I see the things in that way.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.